Lots of clouds and a bit more rain today than we've seen so far this week. We've been looking at drizzle showers here the last few days, but last night, rainfall accumulation in too early this morning showed up pretty good in the buckets as we saw almost an inch of rainfall up near the Oregon border, tapered off to just under a quarter of an inch of rain as you move down to Fortuna and Garberville, and that was about it. Didn't go south of Cape Mendocino, but we did have some measurable rainfall for the north coast. Sky is beginning to break up. We're not going to clear out entirely. We'll hang on to partly cloudy conditions, but as you can see, the brunt of the moisture is through the area at this time. With the southerly flow continuing across the region today, we saw temperatures in the upper 50s to low 60s once again, while out across the interior, Willow Creek and Orleans looking at low 50s. In the Hoopa Valley, 59 in Blue Lake and Neeland. Again, rather balmy, kind of muggy out there here this week. As we take a look at the long-range picture once again, we see another slug of moisture due in the area beginning late tomorrow night into Friday. Now, this one's a little farther north than what crossed the area today, so I expect that pattern of most of the moisture going by to our north to continue into the weekend. But by next week, it all shifts a bit south as our high-pressure system moves out of the area. That'll allow this to drop in, and as you can see, it's taking shape right now. Looks a lot colder, and this will develop, the frontal boundary itself will develop as it approaches the coast. So that one will likely be a little wetter than what we saw this week, and also a little colder. Here's a look at the moisture for tomorrow night into Friday, and again, the computer models present just a glancing blow of that energy across the north coast beginning late tomorrow into Friday, so I'm not looking for anything too impressive, but nonetheless, I think it'll measure in the rainfall buckets. May not reach today's level of an inch across the Oregon border, but we will see some nonetheless. And of course, the Arctic freeze continues for much of the nation as cold air diving through the northern plains heads lickety-split all the way down into the deep south here. Atlanta topped out at 38 today. We're looking at freezing temperatures across the south again tonight as most of the nation, at least east of the Rockies, chills out. We continue balmy and warm as this cold air moves out of the headed for the eastern seaboard here. Over the weekend, our high-pressure system will follow it, so that'll kick off or trigger the change in our weather pattern that's likely to set up for next week as we take a turn back to the cold and wet once again. But not till next week. Tonight, we're going to look for our highs again on the warm side. Upper 40s along the coast, mid-40s out across the interior. Daytime highs continuing on the balmy side. Upper 50s to low 60s pretty much across the land as winds will remain out of the south. 5 to 10 knots. That means we'll stay warm even with partly cloudy conditions. A bit of fog in the morning hours due to all the moisture on the ground. We'll undoubtedly see some foggy conditions here with increasing clouds through the day on Friday, slight chance of showers developing in the wee hours Friday morning and then tapering off by Saturday morning. Break day Sunday with the next round of precipitation headed our way into next week. And as mentioned, it will be colder and probably wetter than what we had this week. So plan accordingly as it looks like we're going to be soggy for most of next week. As we take a look right now at our 3-degree contestant, Greg Gray of Arcata, we find he wins a desk clock from Corky over at Redwood Coast Cellular, so there'll be $90 in the prize pool for Deborah Sherman of Blue Lake coming up tomorrow night.
Okay.
There you go.
Thanks, Jim.
And now Manny Machado joined us with sports, and Manny, conference play continues this week for the HSU men's basketball team.
Yeah, things are good. A 5-game winning streak. When they return tonight on the court, the Warriors try to snap a 3-game slide. Mike Shanahan is back in the NFL, and there's a new member of the Baseball Hall of Fame. Stay with us. Sports is next.
Weather 24 hours a day, go to KIEM-TV.com and click on the weather webcast for your North Coast weather and forecast. Brought to you by Blue Lake Casino.